Now, with those out of the way, we can take a look at the heart and soul of the collection. Starting here with some of the customs. Here's a Prince Devitt that I never finished. This was supposed to be a Finn Balor Prince Devitt New Japan gear. Just an all-white gear. I just never finished that figure. Maybe someday I'll get back to it. Here we've got our Seth Rollins Thanos. We gave him a gauntlet, as well as the gauntlet boot that he actually wore, but we gave him a fisted gauntlet using a Roman Reigns gauntlet, gave him the Thanos blue glove, and then the silver. So he had like this gold and silver boots when he wore this gear, but the more I look at this figure, like I'm thinking about just giving him a navy blue, like he has glove, just painting this boot and knee pad to be that same navy blue. Just because I feel like this glove now doesn't, like, it just looks so out of place with everything else. So I'm thinking about doing that. Haven't really decided yet because it will take away from the authenticity a little bit, but any stinking ways. Next we have our first look at Judgment Day. This is Royal Rumble Finn, Judgment Day, I forget which year, but we slapped this guy up. This is before we ever got a Judgment Day Finn Balor, so I decided I was going to just go ahead and make my own. It's like, yep, we don't have one, it's going to be a while before we get one, so I went ahead and made my own. Shared it here on the channel, a lot of you guys liked it, so we got our Judgment Day Finn. Moving right along, this was one of the first figures that I ever painted, believe it or not. You can kind of see, if you look at the knee pads and stuff, like I was really new to it then, so I could probably touch this up or maybe just do another one. But this was the Joker Finn. Really happy with how that turned out. The head sculpt is amazing. Here we have one. I'm trying to find a better body than this Stone Cold body, but I have a 3D printed head scan of my little brother. So I'm trying to make a wrestling figure that will fit him a little better than what we currently have, but that's kind of my prototype in the works. Regardless, we have my little brother as the Shorty G from We the Kings. Here, I feel like this is just still such a fun, awesome looking figure for him. And then we have the figure I made for myself, Drake Valentine, for We the Kings. And then we have my alt attire, my NWO attire. This was back when I had like my man bun and I had a long beard, and I actually kind of looked very much like Brian Myers at this point, or at that point, so I made a figure that kind of resembled that. And last little custom figure we're getting into here, we have this UFC Brazilian boxer that we turned into Undertaker. So count it if you want. I definitely count it. It's a WWE figure now. It's just a fun, cool Undertaker. It's just the figure proportions look so weird and the legs look so bad compared to the rest of this thing, but weirdly proportioned, but still fun, cool Undertaker to use. Next, we've got Albert here. This was a Monday Night Wars figure, I'm pretty sure, and it also might be the only figure that I have of him. I'm almost positive of that. Next, we've got a Brock Lesnar, just a fun, basic Brock. Over here, my daughter's got her Ice Age elephant. Here we've got an Ultimate Warrior. I always like Ultimate Warrior figures. I feel like they have a lot of good costumes for him. Cesaro, I think one of the only Cesaros that I have. The first Dom Mysterio, back when no one really cared. No offense, Dirty Dom, but no one seemed to really care back then. Here we've got a Hulk Hogan, Hogan Rules ripped shirt. I love this shirt, really cool. I'd love to get more like shirts like that. Here we have a Logan Paul, but I gave him the Drake Maverick shirt because 24/7 Maverick 24/7 was Drake Maverick's shirt, but now that Logan Paul is the Maverick, it's like, okay, this just feels like it fits better on him. Here we've got a Booker T Monday Night Wars figure as well. We've got the rebooted R-Truth from series, I think it's like series 3 or series 4, but this is the updated from the Vault one. Here we have a Rob Gronkowski, And I don't remember where I got this Patriots jersey. It's not Gronk's jersey, because it has a different name on the back. If any Patriots fans in the comments, let me know whose jersey this is. 93. Can I get the name? I think it's like Seymour, I think was the name. I can't get it without pulling the whole jacket back. Okay, here we go, here we go. Jacket's coming off. I'm spending too long on this figure. I'm pretty sure it's Seymour, but I don't know who it is. Well, there's at least, yeah, it's Seymour. I just don't know who it is. But I saw the Patriots jersey and just thought, oh, hey, I have this, a Patriots jersey. It's way too large for this type of figure. It's meant for like a G.I. Joe or something. I think these were like McDonald's toys or Burger King toys at one point. Like, it was just like you get different football team jerseys. Because I think I have other ones. Pretty sure I have a Bears and a Lions and like one or two other teams. But I saw the Patriots one and thought, oh, perfect. I've got Gronk here. And then we've got a woke Matt Hardy with his cloth, or not cloth goods, his rubber goods jacket. But I do really like these white and gold pants. Just really, really cool for that time. Moving right along, we've got Batista from the triple pack. We've got Seth freaking Rollins. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you the back of Batista. I always like showing off the fronts and the backs of figures. That way you guys can see what's out there and what you like, what you don't like. The White Walker, Seth Rollins. My personal favorite, AJ Styles. I just love the red and the blue. I thought that was just really cool gear. Here we've got a Diesel. These are, I'm pretty sure, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, I think the ones that have like the design on the pants, I think these are the Chase ones, right? The ones that have like the design, the colorful look are the Chases, I think, but I don't remember 100%. Here was a from the Vault or Legend series AJ Styles, I forget which. JBL. Apollo Crews. Moving right along, we've got Seth Rollins. This is not the, we gave him the, let me open this up here. We gave him the Ultimate Edition jacket, but it just slapped him here on this Elite figure. Then we've got this Randy Orton. We've got a Aiden English, if you guys remember. The Rusev Day voice himself. Sheamus, this was one of my absolute favorite Sheamus figures for such a long time. Like I use that guy for everything. Here is still one of my favorite Brock Lesnar figures. Brock in the jeans with the ponytail, like that's pretty sick. Here we've got a All-American with his All-American, like this doesn't, do you get any more American than a figure like this? He's got the American flag guitar, the American flag bandana, and he's rocking some cowboy boots. I mean, that's just, oh, such a good figure. I do like that one a lot. Here's another Hogan. Here we've got one of my favorite Shawn Michaels. This is probably my favorite Shawn Michaels. It's not DX Shawn Michaels. Hollywood Blondes Stunning Steve. Here we've got a custom Vampiro. Someone made a Vampiro for me. But like, look at the head scan. They did their own custom head scan to make this Vampiro for me. Slapped some Randy Orton arms on there. So the tattoos and stuff aren't perfect, not 100%, but I really, really like this figure. I'm thinking about just taking like a black vest or something to slap on here, just to kind of complete it. Next, we've got a Stardust. Actually, just recently picked this up not too long ago. Here is the new Roman. We did pick up, I love the black and white gear on this Roman. Like that, I didn't need another Roman in the collection. I really didn't. I don't ever feel like I need another Roman in my collection, but this thing, we just had to pick it up. I love the gear on it. Here is the Cena that I really never wanted, but we ended up with anyway. I don't like the sports geared Cenas, because it's like there's so much copyright stuff, and MDT does a good job talking about it. Here we've got one of my favorite Cenas. This is just one of my favorite Cena figures all time. This thing is so good. You got the cloth basketball jersey and the cloth shirt underneath. Spinner US Championship. You've got his G-Gang chain with the dog tags as well. I mean, this is just a solid Cena. Just a great Cena. Here's all Demolition. These were recent acquires, as these guys came out fairly recently. I mean, they all kind of look the same. Just real quick run through. One Demolition. We've got Judgment Day Edge, which I'm kind of upset that this Edge never got a Ultimate Edition. We never got a Judgment Day Ultimate Edition Edge. Here's a Seth Rollins, one of, like, I have so many of this Seth Rollins. Here he is. Again, I just removed some of the deco on his pants, so it wasn't as, like, flashy. Moving right along, we've got an Undertaker. Fun Undertaker figure. And then we get into the Ninja Turtle collection. So I'm going to count this as one figure, because it is one figure. But it's two heads. And look, you guys might argue, like, well, that shouldn't count as part of the collection because it's not even a WWE. But, like, I've slapped their heads on here. So I've got J-Bop and Jim Steady. J-Bop and Jim Steady. This is my Rocksteady Bebop hybrid. It's like a He-Man Rocksteady and Bebop hybrid figure that I've converted into Rocksteady and Bebop for Shredder. That is, of course, the Roman Reigns, as you guys can see here. And these figures are amazing. If you have a chance to get these, or you can find these at like a retail, like a reseller, or like you have a toy action figure guy, like local toy shop that you can find these in, absolutely pick these up. These are some of my favorite figures all time WWE. Not just like decade, but all time. Here's Casey Jones, or Cody Rhodes as Casey Jones. Another amazing, just dynamite figure. We've got Rey Mysterio as Raphael, which has some of the best design work, I think, on these figures. Like the knee pads, the boots look like the split toes. Like they knocked these out of the park. Here's a Seth Rollins as Leonardo. We did switch out the head on this, because I think it was the man bun Seth head originally. So we switched the head out just because I thought the screaming head with the hair down looked better for Seth Rollins. Here we've got our Kofi Kingston as Michelangelo. It looks like his goggles are sliding up a bit. But yeah, these guys, if you want to know, guys, you can take these off. They just slide up. They're not molded onto the figure. So you can have, like, you can make them like legit figures if you want, or if you want to repurpose head sculpts for anything. And finally, we have Xavier Woods here as Donatello, rounding out the group. So really cool figures. Very happy I was able to get 2 full sets of those. That way I could keep one boxed and one opened. Here we've got Jey Uso. Here we've got Andre the Giant. This is a pretty early figure, I think. I don't remember what series he's from, but one of my favorite Andres. So very happy to have him here. Oh, this is also a custom, I guess. This was the Triple H from the Triple Pack. We just slapped the Finn Balor head on here. This was Finn Balor after winning the first undisputed title. Here we've got Edge, and just the greatest gear of all time. Edge always had like these really awesome killer gears. This one's just excellent. Here we've got Ricochet, but I've also kind of drawn back to the Prince Puma. This was a mask from, I think, Cruz del Toro. I think is their basic Cruz del Toro. I think wore this mask, but I really love this Ricochet gear. This is the Tekken gear, I think. but I just love the gear and wanted to kind of honor the Prince Puma thing, throwing that back on there. Here we've got the Brussels John Cena, and I did head swap this. I bought the basic John Cena that had this like angry head on it, and I went ahead and threw that on here just because I need to do that with a bunch of Cena. I need to go buy a bunch of basic angry Cenas to do that. Here we got one of my favorite fins but like I don't know if I have a least favorite. Like all these fins I'm about to show you these were all ones on the shelf. Here's the Entrance Greats fin. We've got the... No, he's not supposed to have this jacket. This is the... I think this is the Jack the Ripper one. Speaking of Entrance Greats, this was like the unreleased Jeff Hardy Entrance Great. So when this finally came out and I was able to get my hands on it, I'm very, very, very happy. I was very happy for that. Eddie Guerrero, another one of my absolute goats, one of my personal favorite wrestlers of all time. I think like CM Punk, Finn Balor, Eddie Guerrero, Jeff Hardy. That might be, not in that order, but that might be, okay. Finn Balor number 1, Eddie Guerrero number 2, CM Punk number 3, Jeff Hardy number 4. That might be my all-time list. Might be. Like that's I'm just looking at figures right now trying to do that, but that might very well be my list. Here guys is the LWO pack. If you have not purchased this, I love this set. Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio, but I'm pretty sure I swapped the head out on this Rey because he had some like light blue, like shark looking mask. It looked bad. So I was like, I have to have another Rey. I just feel like any other mask looked better, and this is the one I went with because it didn't match anything else that was going on with the rest of the people there. Seth Rollins, one of the ones I really like from back in the day. My absolute favorite Seth Rollins Elite figure is his NXT figure. I think this is just one of the best figures all time of Seth Rollins, in my opinion, just because I loved this NXT era Seth. And then, of course, we've got Naked Seth, which obviously he's not naked. He's just got the orange trunks on. But we wanted to do the meme, which also brings us to Naked Punk, which, of course, Punk is not naked as well. He's got the trunks on. You guys know how we did it. We had to do the meme because Punk did it, so I was like, okay, he did it, I gotta do it. Here's I think my newest Punk I just picked up not too long ago. Here's one that my wife got me a few years ago. This is before he even signed with AEW. She got me this figure for Christmas one year. That's when Punk figures were like incredibly hard to find. Here's the From the Vault CM Punk with his arm in a sling. And then here we've got the Pipe Bomb Punk, which another great figure. Rounding it out here, guys, on this wave, we've got the 3-pack Bret the Hitman Hart with a very nice cloth goods leather jacket, which is just amazing. This 3-pack is out now. We've got a Ken Shamrock in his way too tight referee shirt, in his really tight spandex, classic, and we've got one of my favorite favorite Stone Cold Steve Austins because he's got the nice cloth goods vest. It is beautiful. Absolutely love this. Then we've got a Coco Beware Birdman himself. Again, another great cloth goods jacket for him. And then finally, guys, we got the final boss, the Golden Rock statue figure. This thing is just so cool. I think JFW has a review out on this figure. By the time I'm recording this, I'm sure it's already out. I know he unboxed it and showed it to us, but this thing is, this might, I don't want to say figure of the year, but this might be my figure of the year because I just love the idea of this so much. Like, this is something that you can buy to play with, or this is something you can buy for a fan and they can set it on their office and just be like, hey, like, this just looks like it's part of the office. Like, this is part of the decor. Like, you walk into someone's office and this is on their desk. No one's really gonna, I mean, people are gonna see it and be like, oh, that's cool, that's The Rock, that's cool. But it doesn't look out of place where if you walk into someone's office and they see like Stone Cold, it's like, oh, okay, it's a wrestling action figure. This, at first glance, you don't even know it's a wrestling action figure. It's just like, oh, cool, final boss, The Rock. You have no idea the articulation that this thing has, or know that he just pops right off this stand, and now you've got a fully playable action figure to go in your collection. Just awesome figure. Very happy that they made this. I hope we get more of these. Honestly, I hope we get more of these down the line. Like, can we get like a bunch of official gold figures with plaques like this, Mattel? I would love that. Let me get like a, like all the legends, all the big names. Like let me get Hulk Hogan. Let me get Andre the Giant. Let me get Stone Cold, Undertaker. Like I want all the big names. John Cena now is going to be amongst the immortals. Like I just want the big names in golden figure form like this with a base that looks so beautiful. I mean, I could buy a bunch of The Rock, just scribble out the nameplate, put my own name on there, and then paint a figure gold and slap it on there. I could do that, but I would like the official Mattel version, I think, more. Right? That'd be pretty cool. All done. All right, let's keep it moving with the next 100 figures. Here we're starting with a blackout Hulk Hogan. This was, I think, Hollywood Hogan at this point. Just cool figure, fun figure. I like the all black attire on him. It just, something about this just fits. But NWO Hogan was like my favorite era Hogan. So this is just such a good Hogan for me. Here we've got a Kurt. Oh gosh. Well, I don't know why I can't think of his name. Kurt Hawkins, right? Does that sound right? This one's a little bit beat up. My other one is in way better shape. But this guy's, you know, he's seen some times, but not a bad figure. One of my favorite Undertaker Elite figures. This one's just pretty sick. This is a pretty sick figure. I like that one a lot. Here we've got a Cena. I can't even remember. This is an old one. I can't remember what series, wave, anything he's from. Purple Gear. So it's Purple Gear, Cena Nation Cena. We've got one of the more modern Usos. Well, I guess not modern anymore. This is Bloodline Uso. I think this was the first time they did the red in Jimmy's hair on an Elite, was on this figure. So that's a good one. I do like the Bloodline Usos. Here we've got a Roddy Piper figure, or John Nada, as you may know him better. But again, another basic figure. No, not basic, but like basic attire, like the jeans and like flannel shirt. Great for a lot of fix-ups. Great figure to have to do fix-ups. Here we have one of like 3 or 4 Brother Loves that I have. Grabbed a bunch of this guy because he was like dirt cheap at Target, so we scooped up a good bit of that. Here we have the NWO 3-pack with Scott Hall. And guys, if you get this 3-pack, do not remove these rubber bands. I mean, you can if they're just going to sit on your shelf, but if you're going to use them for anything, don't remove these rubber bands because pieces go flying. Pieces go flying. Here we have the best Hogan, good old Hollywood Hogan. Man, NWO Hogan is my favorite Hogan. Now, I really love the blue flame gear over the white flame. The white flames is still cool, but I think the blue flames, like that was like peak gear. And then we got Kevin Nash, NWO. Kevin Nash there with the glasses. Speaking of Kevin Nash, let's take a look at a good old Jakks Pacific TNA Kevin Nash. Right, this was like right around his TNA transition. No, I'm mistaken. This is Old Man Nash. But yeah, he went to... Didn't he? He ended the TNA, didn't he? Regardless, Shane O'Mac, Shane McMahon, Shane, the plain Shane. Has there ever been another Shane McMahon Elite figure? Leave it in the comments below if there has. I don't know if there has. This is the only Shane that I have, and I think I have 2 or 3 of this. Mostly because I wanted to take the Gronk and then put this head over on the Gronk to give him a little updated look. I just haven't gotten to do that yet. Here we've got a Bobby Orton, just a plain basic Good old cowboy. Here we've got The Miz, baby. Although we gave him a black Combat Club. It's the Blackpool Combat Club shirt because we had it sitting around. I forget whose shirt it was. Yuta Wheeler's, maybe. We just slapped it on him just for fun. Here we've got a King Booker. My favorite version of Booker T is King Booker. This one, oh, you know what? I don't know, actually. I don't know, because I really like Booker T with Gold Dust, but King Booker was so fun. This is my favorite figure. I'll put it that way. This is definitely my favorite figure. And this, Mattel, guys, put this up the ladder to Mattel. I want an Ultimate Edition King Booker. That is one figure that I feel like is severely slept on. I want Ultimate Edition King Booker. That would be so awesome. Because you know they're trying to put like a legend now in all the lines with the Ultimates. They're trying to do a man, a woman, and a legend, I think. So give me Ultimate Edition King Booker as my legend for the next one. Here's a Seth Rollins. We swapped the knee pads out on, so he's just all black attire. Got the little Seth Rollins logoed taped fists. Here we've got a Ultimate Warrior Manager. Again, this is one that I can almost guarantee this was not the actual figure. I just slapped this together because I thought it would look cool and I was just happy with how it turned out, so I kept it. Next, we've got a Kane, a really sick Kane. I like this Kane a lot. This is a really cool... Masked Kane is my favorite Kane. Did I say that already? Masked Kane is my favorite Kane. All these attires where it looks like it's stitched together are really, really cool. Here's a sick Undertaker in his awesome jacket. Rubber goods jacket, which, meh. I mean, for this, it really works, I guess. I don't have the hood for it. Or I think I do, but I didn't put it on because his head kind of sits low in it. I don't know if I can pop him up more here. There, kind of. But I don't want to add the hood. Like, this just looks so good. So I like to keep that as is. Here we've got a suited Cody. Actually, Detective Cody, as I call him. He kind of looks very James Bond-esque to me. And he has his pistol here in hand. Because I believe I said this in every single video, but I've weaponed up a lot of these guys. Because there was going to be this big, epic, like, fight. Back when we did the Bloodline versus the Judgment Day from last season. Here's Oos. I think this is Jay, right? Because Jimmy always had the tongue out on the early figures when the heads were painted and I couldn't tell them apart. I'm pretty sure Jay... Do I have it backwards? I think Jimmy always had the tongue out on the figures. Jay's tongue was in. I think, but I can't remember entirely. I'm probably an idiot. I probably have it backwards. This is probably Jimmy and the other one's Jay. Regardless, we've got a Bobby Lashley. This is my favorite Bobby Lashley figure for a long time. And it might still be one of my favorites. Like, I just feel like this helps capture just how big of a man he was. Like, he was a big built dude. This is a military man. This is my favorite figure for a long time of Bobby Lashley. And it might still be my favorite. I don't know. We'll have to... When I get through all of these, I'll let you guys know. I'll leave it in the comments. Next, we've got an AJ here, pumping some iron, lifting some weights, working out to, build those muscles. How do you think he's going to stay this phenomenal? Moving right along, we've got Rey Mysterio as Mysterio. One of the coolest figures maybe ever. This is just such an awesome figure. If you guys haven't had a chance to get your hands on it, this is one of the better Rey Mysterio figures as far as like just concepts. And of his newer elites, this is hands down my favorite Rey out of his newer figures, newer elites. Here we've got an Eric Bischoff from the Monday Night Wars series. We have another look at Cena here with his, I think this is supposed to be his Chicago Bears jersey. This is a worse version. This one was part of the 4-pack, I believe, with the Eddie Guerrero, the Stone Cold, and the Booker T. I think this Cena was in that 4-pack. just a worse version of the Bears jersey Cena. Here we've got a Jinder Mahal that I believe this one, I think this may have been the one that came with the ring, but I've always had this issue with the arm. I have 2 or 3 of this Jinder Mahal, but all of my Jinder Mahals always had this arm issue where his arms just loosely swings. I do have a solution for this now. If you guys haven't had the chance to get like little hair ties, little hair bands, you can stick them in loose joints and it will tighten them up. So we'll do that on this Jinder Mahal. I'm going to actually set him aside so we can try. You know what? I'm going to do that right now for you. All right, so I did the hair tie method, and now you can see the arm is not just falling all over the place when I move the figure around. Like, I can actually pose this guy and have him hold his arm up now. And now I have a usable Jinder Mahal. And what am I talking about when I say the hair tie method? You buy these little clear, like rubber band hair ties, and you just wrap them around the joints as many times as you need. So let me see if I can set this up to show you guys here what I'm talking about. If I set my phone here, if you take a hair tie up to your figure, put it on, twist it around, and just repeat this process of putting the hair tie on where you want it to. Work it into the figure, and then just keep twisting around the joint. And you just keep doing this process until you're comfortable with where the figure is as far as their arm movement, or leg movement, or waist, or whatever it is. You keep twisting it around, working it into the joint, and then you just force the hair tie back in here so that you don't see it at the end. That's what I'm going to try and do now, is force this thing back in here so we won't see the finished product. And there you go. Now we've got now it's even better. Now we have 2 in there, and now it's a really, like, not stiff, but it's definitely, like, I can move it easily. But now it's a much more secure figure. He can actually hold his arm out. I don't have to worry about the arm falling at any point. You can see here, well, just a range of motion now, and it's not just, the arm's not just flying around and flopping all over for me. So that's the method. In case you guys were wondering, if anyone wanted to know how to fix up figures, any joints, you can use those clear hair ties, fixes your figure for you, and when you hide them, you can't even tell there's anything wrong with this guy. You can't tell what's going on. It's like, wait, your Jinder Mahal actually works? He does now. Moving right along, we've got Sami Zayn. So, look, I got a little bit of heat on my short video where I was blind ranking characters, not knowing who was coming next. I put Sami Zayn ahead of Roman Reigns on a scale of hotness, because I think this version of Sami Zayn, back when he looked like Prince Harry, like, this was a good-looking Sami Zayn. If I was going off of modern Sami Zayn with his long, straggly beard and long, stribbly hair, I would choose Roman Reigns, but I was just going as, like, not what they look like now, but at their best, who did I like better? I liked Sami Zayn better at his best. Like, this version, Sami Zayn, clean cut, his beard's, he always had the beard, but his beard was, like, groomed and shaved and well maintained. That's what I was going with, guys. Don't grill me anymore for that. Here we've got a Rocky Maivia. This was in the 100th anniversary 4-pack, I believe. Is that right? I think that's where that Rocky came from. And then we've got Hollywood Blondes, another classic from the Hollywood Blondes. Here we have our return CM Punk. However, this one I slapped the old, like, ECW early WWE career head on. I like this. This is when I first saw CM Punk. I saw him, I think, like 2 months or 3 months into his WWE signing in Hershey. So was very, very young, very new CM Punk, and he instantly became, like, one of my favorite characters, just because I liked his intro. I liked his moveset, like his style, his edginess. It was just really, really cool. Now, what I did, because this was a Mattel, I think this was a Mattel Creations, I did go ahead with a silver marker and just highlight his piercings here, because they were not very prominent from the factory. Any stinking ways. We've got a Seth freaking Rollins here. One of my favorite Elite Seth Rollins. Definitely one of my favorite gears all time of his. So I picked up a couple of these. So this one is the man bun head sculpt, and this one is the hair down yelling head sculpt. I think I have like another one or two of these, but I just want to show you guys it's like I don't just reuse figures in these videos just to make it look like I have more. I normally just buy a couple of figures that I really like. Here is a shoot, I'm going to struggle with this one. This is Eric. He's from Sanity. Killian Dane, Alexander Wolf, Nikki Cross, and Eric Young. I believe, if memory serves me right, I believe this is Eric Young. If not, I know someone's going to correct me here in the comments. I believe this is Eric Young from Sanity. I think I have a couple of this figure as well. The only one I was not able to track down from this group was the Alexander Wolf. Believe it or not. I don't know if he was like hard to get or hard to come by, whatever. But that's the only one I wasn't able to pick up any stinking ways. We're moving on to Randy Orton. I gave him pants in the Chris Jericho AEW flashy pink jacket. He's just like, for whatever reason in my mind, I was thinking like soccer players. Like who would be the soccer player star of like WWE, and for whatever reason Randy Orton popped into my mind, maybe because of the punt. I don't know, but I just thought like, okay, this is my Cristiano Ronaldo. So here he is. Here's my Cristiano Ronaldo or my Messi, whichever, whoever you pick, whoever's your GOAT. Moving right along, here we've got Beach Rock. This is he's checking the time. Beach relaxed Papa Rock. He's got the loafers on. He's got the khaki shorts. He's got the button-up shirt. Checking his watch. Checking the time. Fun Rock. Here we've got my KSI custom. This is an R-Truth head on an R-Truth body with a Bronson Reed jacket. I'm pretty sure this is the old R-Truth. Like this is the original Truth, I think. This is not the double jointed arms, I don't believe. Or maybe this one is the newer one. I don't recall. I remember I had a Truth in the beginning of this segment. This is the same Truth. It's just one of them is the newer one of them is the older one. But we took the basic Truth with his hair up like this. We painted it because it was like yellow tipped. So this is my KSI. We just didn't get rid of the tattoos on this because I want to keep the body intact as is. So he still has this jacket, which I feel like this would be a very KSI jacket. Am I wrong? Am I wrong to say that? This feels like a KSI type jacket. Like it just looks like this is KSI vibe to me. Any stinking way. Here we've got Enzo. Coolest dudes in the room. So moving right along, we've got Commissioner Mick Foley with his commissioner shirt and his flannel outside. Moving right along, we've got ourselves a Sting, baby. Sting figures are just really, really cool. This is a character that's like, I wasn't the biggest Sting fan, but he's just like, his characters were really, really cool. His figures, I mean, were excellent. Here we've got Bad Man Big Luke Gallows, which I think this might be the most modern figure. This Gallows and then the Carl Anderson that pairs with him that I don't see out here right now might be the most modern figures that they had from WWE. And there we've got DDP, baby, with the blue lightning vest. I love that DDP. What a good DDP. Here's an Undertaker that just, I don't know. Undertaker figures I feel like can either go like really hard or just kind of be mid. I feel like this one's just kind of mid. It's not bad. It's just, kind of mid gang. And then Braun Strowman figures, I feel like all of his figures just look so insane. Like just big man figures most of the time are really good, but Braun Strowman's are just always like, I feel like his figures always seem to hit. Otis figures, on the other hand, I feel like this one doesn't hit for me. I'm just not a fan of this style. I like the blue collar boys, Otis and Tucker. You know, that was Otis, peak Otis for me. Here we've got a Kevin Thorne, which was WWE's Vampire, where Vampiro was WCW, TNA, one of those. We're going to have to give him the treatment because we've got a slightly loose arm right there. See that wobble? Just kind of wobbling around. So we need to give him the treatment. This is actually surprisingly in really, really good shape, minus the tie being ripped off. This figure's still in really good shape. Here we have a kind of updated Matt Cardona. I knew it was going to be a while since Matt Cardona re-signed. I knew it was going to be a while until they gave him an actual figure. So we just slapped one on, and I can't even tell you whose body this is, but we slapped a Matt Cardona head on here, just so we had an updated Matt Cardona ready to go. Here we have Austin Theory from The Way, which, for whatever, when I look at this figure, like, it does not look like Austin Theory to me anymore. Did his whole head change? Like, this head sculpt just doesn't look like him at all to me. But when this came out, I thought it was like, oh yeah, that's Austin Theory. Like, I could see it, but now it just looks like a stranger. Like, they just made this random man. Here we've got the Stardust Dusty Rhodes. Hard times here on the back, but he's got the polka dot Dusty Rhodes attire. Here we've got, I believe this one's Jimmy, right? Jimmy was the tongue out, Jay was the tongue in. I'm almost positive that's how it is. Almost positive that's how it was with those guys. I just don't remember 100%. Here's our Series 100 Andre the Giant suited figure. This is an incredible figure. Feel like a very slept on figure. I feel like Series 100 in general was kind of slept on. Is this one the Chase? I don't remember. I know Andre had the Chase in that. I don't remember if this was the Chase or not, but I like this one a lot. Blue coat, pink shirt, cross necklace. Great Andre, great Andre. Here we have the Burnt Fiend. If you guys are missing any figures from your collection, I feel like this is one that could easily be skipped on. And no offense to the Fiend characters, but this just feels proportionally so weird. Like, it feels like it's a very long torso, and then you have these short, stubby little legs. Like, this just doesn't feel like a very good figure. I don't use this one a whole lot, but it's part of the Bray collection, so it's like I had to have it. So he's with me, but I just don't use him too much. Here's one of my favorite Kanes. Again, this attire this slaps. I love this attire so much. The masked Kanes, man, that's a fire, absolute fire, as the kids say. Here's Ultimate Warrior, suited warrior. Not much more to say on that. And then here's one of my favorite warriors, Cloth Goods long jacket. Got the WCW mic in hand still here. He's rocking his cowboy boots with the jeans. Just a sick figure. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Awesome figure. And Warrior's another great one. Another great figure to collect. There's so many good Warrior figures. This Batman Rey Mysterio goes so hard. I'm surprised. This thing ended up at Ollie's for like $7. So I think I have like 4 of this. But I love this Batman figure. Like, this is not as good as the basic where he actually had like the bat horns coming off the mask. I think if they would have done that one instead of this like classic Batman look, I think that one would have been, never would have seen Ollie's or any of the discount stores. Here's another Sami Zayn from back in the day. This is my first Sami Zayn figure, believe it or not. So this guy's been with me for a long time. He's been rocking with me. Here is Edge, a fun rated R superstar Jakks Pacific Edge. Here we've got a Shawn Michaels. Honestly can't remember what series this is from, and I think I only got this to get the Build-A-Figure piece because I think he was part of a Build-A-Figure set. Here's a kind of custom slapped together Virgil. I don't think this is the actual Build-A-Figure. I'm pretty sure I just kind of put this together and it worked, because I almost guarantee these are not the arms and jacket that is supposed to go with this figure, but we slapped it together and made it work. So happy with how that turned out. Here we've got our pink suit Seth Rollins. Wish I had a better head. I might have to update the head sculpt because this head, he just looks worried. Like, this just looks like a very worried head sculpt for Seth. Maybe he should be like like hand on his head, like, oh gosh, Becky and I are having another kid. I wasn't planning on that. You know, I don't know. Something. Here we've got Festival of Friendship, Chris Jericho. Just a fun Jericho, because if you don't say that, then you're gonna make the list. We don't want to make the list. So here we've got Grand Metalik. Is that who this one is? I think so. I think this is... I've got him back here again. I'm pretty sure it's Grand Metalik. I just can't see... Yeah, he's got the ponytail. That's how I can tell. That's Grand Metalik from Lucha House Party. If you guys remember the good luchadors, Lucha Boys. Here we've got another Edge, a rock and roll Edge. Look at these boots, dude. The skull with the devil horn logo, or Too Sweet logo, or whatever you want to call it, coming off the skull. Like, just some really sick looking logos. Like, Edge is just a metalhead forever. Like, he's a lifer. Here is an Elias that we slapped a Hawaiian shirt on, because I feel like it just fit his vibe really well. And technically, I guess you guys can call this a basic, because he's got these stiff basic legs. And it's one of the ones that, like, you bend him back and he snaps forward or whatever. But he does have that ab crunch, so I put him in elite. You know, maybe this is a yellow card. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but he's got some ab crunch, so I just put him here. Probably doesn't belong. Moving right along, we've got Triple H. This is from the 3-pack with Miz and Truth for the new belts. Here we've got a Gold Dust, my favorite by far Gold Dust figure ever made. At least in elite form. I'm sure we'll probably never get an Ultimate Edition Gold Dust. That would be sick to get an Ultimate Gold Dust. Sure, we probably won't get that. Here we've got a Jakks-Pacific Undertaker with the completely white out eyes. Have any of our Ultimate Edition takers had the white out eyes? I don't know if they have. I might have to make that for one of the alts. Here we've got King Sheamus, another one of my favorite King of the Ring characters is King Sheamus. It's just... that was such good Sheamus. I love that Sheamus, especially in toy figure. He looks like Loki. Here we've got a Ric Flair baby. This is another one that I picked up at an Ollie's, I think, for like dirt cheap. But good old Ric Flair. A fun Rey Mysterio. Not much going on with this Rey, just his classic Eddie Halloween Havoc. Here we've got Bobby the Brain Heenan, which... gotta have a little Bobby with ya. Here we've got the 2-pack Finn and AJ, where Finn's like paint is like running down his face and it's all messed up, so that like it's designed to look like that from the sweat and everything. But that was a fun figure. Karrion Kross. I honestly didn't know who this was until I started looking at the tattoos, because I forgot Karrion Kross was bald when he first was in NXT and then came up to WWE. I forgot about that. But here we've got a Cody Rhodes with one of his shirts from his AEW Supreme figure. Here we've got the first Damian Priest Ultimate Edition figure. You know, this is like pre-Judgment Day, so pretty cool that he was already rocking the purple before Judgment Day. I wanted to say something else about him, and I don't remember. I think that purple gear was from his Bad Bunny fight, right? I think that sounds right. Any stinking ways, trying to move through these a little bit quicker here, just so this isn't an incredibly long video. Sami Zayn there. Here we've got a Miz with his B Miz logo. Pretty cool. Got an AJ Styles here, but I put a Retribution shirt on him. This is his graveyard match with Undertaker. We've got a Adam Cole baby. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's Edge. It's Edge in the urban camo. Another sweet, sweet gear. Like, did Edge ever have bad gear? Please leave in the comments below if he ever did. We just slapped an Adam Cole shirt on because I'm not really sure why. Here's a Dirty Dom Dom. Judgment Day Dom Dom. Here we've got another guy who just doesn't miss on figures. Jeff Hardy with the back tats, looking extra epic. With the blue, I think the blue armbands on that Jeff Hardy indicated that he was the Walmart exclusive. And then there was one that I think that maybe had red armbands to indicate the Target exclusive. So that is the story behind those Jeffs. And then they did make a figure here for Burt Reynolds. So don't know why they did that. No, it's an Ultimate Warrior figure, but I feel like just removing this paint around the face, you would have a really, really great Burt Reynolds figure. So just something there for you guys to consider. Here's a Marvel Jeff Hardy figure when Marvel did some of the, was this TNA figures? What was this? This is a Marvel TNA. Yeah, 2005 Marvel TNA figure. Now, the sad thing is we have a hand that broke off in here, so I'm trying to find a way that I can heat this arm up without damaging it to pull that out and pop another hand in there. Here we've got an Xavier Woods. I think this is when he won King of the Ring. We've got ourselves a Big E. I should have just tried to get all the New Day together in their attires, because that would have been much cleaner. Here's our Judgment Day Jay. Here he is. Our boy, Jey Uso, yeet, in the Judgment Day. Here's one of the only Matt Riddles that I have left complete, because I've been tearing them apart so I could make Seth Rollins and CM Punk with their naked belts. Here is Mace, or Mace, as he's known. If you guys get that joke, leave a thumbs up on the video. Here we've got Tommaso Ciampa. I think this is the only Tommaso that I actually have, so I know there's a new one out. I just didn't get him yet because I haven't seen him. We've got Nasty Boys, Jerry Sags here. Yep, I told you guys I had a bunch of this Seth. I love the gear, love the coat. Had to pick up a bunch of this Seth. The Ravishing Rick Rude. Can you feel the heat, baby? Here we've got another Randy Orton in the orange trunks. Probably my least favorite gear. This might be my least favorite Randy Orton. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Here we've got Rock with the chest tattoo of the giant dagger, whatever. And then here we've got Brock before the giant chest tattoo of the giant dagger. And he didn't have the meat hooks up here in the backs of his shoulders yet either. But there you have it, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into another episode here as we go through this figure collection, and we're just documenting all the figures we have. We just got through another, like almost 200 figures here, so this count is getting pretty darn high. So we'll see what it looks like at the end, but until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, God's the best, stay blessed, and we'll see you next time. Bye!